The other thing that you have here, the third point, continue the growth on offense. Browns are obviously the more talented football team. Take us through that relative to the growth on offense.
Well, so this is the first drive, right? So what I like here is that 1-2-3 balls out. So I thought Deshaun Watson and the offense did a bunch of really good things on the first drive. First of all, he threw in rhythm. Then he made some plays like this where he does what he does best, which is improvise and make plays when the Browns need them. So the kind of synopsis or these two plays showed me is that the Browns are making progress in what they're doing offense. That first 16-play drive for a touchdown showed a bunch of things. They had a bunch of big personnel, big 22 personnel. They had a lot of motions. They had a lot of movement. They were on time. I thought Deshaun Watson did a great job of not only being within the system and throwing the ball on time on slants and things like that, but he also did a good job of improvising when needed. And the Browns are going to have both. And I think what people saw in Deshaun Watson, they want more, and he's going to need to do more. But you're seeing he doesn't have to be great every snap. What he's got to do, he's got to make those big plays when they're presented to him. And then there will come a time when the defense struggles, and he's going to have to carry them. But this is the old game manager, and for me, that's a positive thing, not a negative. He's got to lean on the defense, get better at what he does, and I really thought that first drive showed the potential they could have. They need to build on that in week 3 here, moving forward.
When you look at the way the offensive line played, they ran the ball, they went big, and that's fine. That they brought in Nick Harris, I think Zach Zinter, which without David Njoku, you probably are going to see some more of that. How do you think the line played as a whole, the offensive line?
Well, they're not pulling the guards. They're not running the true power as much. They're not running that counter as much where they pull those guards around. I think they're going to get back to that a little bit. The touchdown run by Deshaun Watson was a one-back counter. So if you look at that one-back touchdown run, it's a kind of a combination of Dorsey and Stefanski, right? They came out in the power, then they shifted to a bunch look and a two, and then just with Deshaun Watson. So that's kind of a Dorsey thing. And then they ran one-back power, which is kind of a Stefanski thing. So I still think they're trying to marry it. I still think the Browns are best when they gap block. They can run some zone. Those guys are talented, but I think those guys inside like to pull. They like to get up on the second level, and they like to be nasty when they get there. So I would like to see the Browns get back to a little bit more gap scheme, pulling those guards. I think that will help them with their confidence because I think they can move the Giants off the ball a little bit. Zone's a lot harder to run than gap. Gap's all about getting nasty, it's simple rules, and blocking people. So I think the Browns need to get back to that a little bit more. The line played okay. They're going to have to continue to improve.
Are you surprised? Were you surprised that there wasn't more of an RPO element, or is that down the road, or something you don't think they're going to do nearly as much as we thought they might?
Well, they have to establish a run. The RPO, I've said this before, the RPO is not a new play. RPO is based on your run game. So they're going to have to get that run game going so people honor that run game, and then you do have an option. Because right now, without the run game or as strong a run game as they've once had, it's going to be really hard to run an RPO because the backers and secondary aren't going to be loaded in the box to try to stop the run like you've had to in the past. Obviously, it's there. I've seen it in camp. I saw it a bunch in camp. So I think once the run game improves and they can get to 2nd and 4, I thought Foreman did a good job of that. Once the run game gets to where they think it can be, and then yes, I think the RPOs make their appearance.